Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy RL Nuggles here to give you another NFL division prediction. Last video I did was the AFC North, no, AFC East, I'm sorry, was probably the easiest one to predict. And now I did say at the end of the video I was going to do the AFC North, and here I am with the AFC North. Now, just like the last video, I'm going to talk about like each team, what they did in the preseason, then, pick which team I believe is going to win the division. So as we know, in this division we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm going to start off talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is probably one of the few teams that people believe that can possibly beat the Patriots. They did meet with the Patriots in the AFC Championship, but I truly believe that if it wasn't for Antonio Brown's video, we could have probably seen a better game. Now, I'm not saying that they would have won, but I think it could have been a lot closer than what we, could have imagined. And plus, Le'Veon Bell was injured during that game. He got hurt. Now, he even said that if I wasn't hurt, we would have beat the Patriots. But also at the same time, though, he was averaging maybe 2 yards per carry. Like, he wasn't averaging that much. So, I mean, to say that, it makes you sound salty a little bit. I don't think it was the best thing to say. But, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they didn't really do too a few days ago, the Cleveland Browns cut Joe Hayden. Apparently, they wanted him to take a pay cut or whatever. Because I'm thinking, like, the reason why they let him go is because they wanted to have, like, a young defense around him. But Joe Hayden, in 2013, 2014, he was a Pro Bowler. Now, 2015 he was hurt. 2016 he was gone. I don't know if he played a game at all in 2015, but I know he was injured out most of the season. And 2016 wasn't a good year for him either. So he has to get back into that 2013, 2014 prime form. He's still only 28, so he's still in his prime. Remember, we used to say he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and now he has a chance to redeem himself coming from Cleveland, coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because he used to go one-on-one with Antonio Brown a lot, so he can get better with him. And not only that, I mean, most of the time when the Browns release somebody, that person does a whole lot better. Besides Trent Richardson, now Gabriel, who went from Cleveland and I think he was cut from the Cleveland Browns, and then he got signed by the Falcons. He went to the Super Bowl. He was definitely a great part to that offense. So I get a feeling this could bite Cleveland in the butt from cutting Joe Hayden. So they got Joe Hayden to help on their secondary, because the Steelers secondary is terrible, and they also got J.J. Watt's brother, T.J. Watt, inside linebacker in the first round of the draft. So they definitely need to put a good pass rush on Brady, because it's something about facing Tom Brady. You have to pressure him. If you are not getting any pressure on Tom Brady, he is going to throw that ball. He is just going to destroy the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary. He is. So they need to put pressure on him. And so now we have Martavis Bryant coming back. And now you have Martavis Bryant, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. This offense is still going to be one of the top offenses in the league. So, but here's the thing with the Steelers. Every time when they have the whole thing that pushes back can be injury or suspension. As of right now, nothing bad seems to be going wrong right now. So if you're a Steelers fan, you just gotta pray that this team makes it through this season healthy and and not like going through any issues. Like, we just gotta hope everything goes right. So I'm hoping things go right with this team. Now, granted, I literally can't stand the Steelers in a way, because I'm an Eagles fan, and yes, I will admit it's not hard to admit that the Steelers have done a whole lot more than the Eagles, but there'll be some Steelers fans saying, "Oh, we should have an Eagles team. It should be one Pennsylvania team. It should be the Steelers. I'm like, oh no, hell no. I'm not dealing with that. Heck no. So, yeah, I don't want to get into that. So now we get into the Baltimore Ravens. Now, they got Jeremy Maclin, which is good because, with Steve Smith retiring, it was going to be rough for them. But Joe Flacco got injured, but now I'm hearing he's going to be back in game 1. And they drafted Marlon Humphrey, cornerback, in the first round. Now, here's the thing. I still think it might be a repeat of last year with their defense has to save them. Because I don't see anybody in this offense besides Henry Mackin can help them. Like I said, their defense will keep them in the game, but offense, I just don't see how they're gonna do well. Because I mean, their schedule isn't. The schedule isn't. I mean, first of all, they're in a tough division already. Then they have to face the AFC South, which was looking good, but now it's like, because Jaguars with their core situation, Titans look the best in that division. The Texas defense is still going to be good. I mean, it's how can I say this? They have, it's not a too difficult schedule. It's not too difficult, but they do face the NFC North. So you are going to be playing in Green Bay and in Minnesota. Like, I think this part of the schedule could get tough. Like, it's in the middle of the schedule. It's the start from October 22nd. In Minnesota, they got to face the Dolphins, which, they're not a bad team, but like, they have some good people on offense. They got to face the Titans in Tennessee. They got to go to Green Bay. They got to host the Texans. I mean, they have like a pretty that part looks pretty rough for them. So, excuse me, Joe Flacco, he hasn't really shown much ever since his 2012 season. Like, that was a really good season for him because he won the Super Bowl, obviously, but ever since he got that money, he hasn't really shown all that much. So I'm sorry, Ravens fans. I'm just not having a good feeling about the Ravens. Now, the Bengals. I do like the Bengals this year. And now it's funny, right? I know it's a little bit weird. But first of all, every other year, the Bengals have a great regular season. For instance, 2013, they had a really good season. They won that division. 2014 wasn't good as their 2013 season. They still made it to the playoffs, but they weren't all that great. Then in 2015, really, really good season, but, Andy Dalton got hurt, so that's definitely rough for them. And then 2016 was definitely, a bad year, so maybe this year they'll be really good. And I also like what they did in the draft. They got Joe Mixon and they got John Ross, but apparently he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Now, did he play the preseason game? I have to find that out. Let me know if John Ross played that preseason game, because I don't know why you want to play that last preseason game. Like, there's been so many injuries going on through the preseason this year. It's ridiculous. Now, I think preseason is going to be here forever. Granted, I think we're fine without it. But if you are going to have a preseason game, I would just make it 2 games. Because it's not worth it, man. We're seeing all these people get hurt. I'm glad no one from my Eagles got hurt, but god dang, man, like, excuse me, it's just way too many injuries going on. Like, it's definitely rough. Now, they got Joe Mixon, who, arguably was the best running back in the division, and he's out to redeem himself after that, that situation that happened with the girl. So I'm hoping the best for that young brother. And you still have AJ Green and Vontaze Burfict. He got his suspension got reduced to 3 games, which is, good for them. Now, I don't know how their defense is going to be. Time they have a good defense, and times they don't. Last year, I didn't see much of a good defense from them, but I think this year They'll probably get better. Maybe, I'm not sure. The issue with that team is their offensive line is garbage. So I mean, you have a good running back, but like it doesn't help a rookie running back when your offensive line is bad. But he's a very good running back, so they're hoping to get the running game going this season. Now I feel as though this is probably the only team. Well, the Ravens always play the Steelers stuff too, so I mean, I can't count them out either. But I feel as though the Bengals might be their biggest competition this year in the AFC North. Now, the Bengals schedule is no slouch. It's not the hardest, but like have how it's set up for some of the games. Like first first three games can be tough because they're starting with their divisional rival, the Ravens. Like I said, the Ravens didn't really do much on the offensive side of the ball, but when you face your division rival, it's always tough. Then they host the Texans, a good defense, but they have the defense. I mean the Texans might have a rookie quarterback, so that could work to their favor. But like I said, Texans have a really good defense, so it's gonna be tough for them. Then they have to go to Green Bay. And, Aaron Rodgers playing Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau is it's definitely tough. So no matter how good your defense is, playing in Lambeau is difficult. Rodgers has the advantage there. Then it slows down a bit. Then they play the Browns, Bills, Steelers, which is definitely going to be a huge matchup for them, a huge game. So then they face the Colts. Then this is part where it really gets messy. Then they have to play in Jacksonville. Like I said, they don't have a quarterback right now, but like I said, their defense is tough. They got to play in Tennessee. They got to play in Denver. Denver's, has had your numbers the past couple of years. So that part of the schedule gets tough. Those 3-game stretch. They play the Browns, Steelers. Then you face the Bears, which that's a winnable game. Then you got to play in Minnesota with that defense. That's going to be tough. Host the Lions, which you can probably win that game. They end up playing the Ravens in Baltimore. So, I mean, Bengals have, not easy, but not hard schedule. And I'm excited to see what the team is going to do on offense. But me here being in, Philadelphia, I don't have NFL Red Zone, so I can't really see much of what this team can do. But I am interested to see what's going to happen, especially with that offense. Like I said, you have two high-powered rookies like that. I can't wait to see. But John Ross, I think he has a lot of hype because he broke the 40-dash record in the combine. But for John Ross, he has to show more than just a fast guy because this is the NFL, man. People are not gonna let you run fast like that. These top corners, no. So we'll see what happens. Now Cleveland, I'm really interested to see what these guys are gonna do this season. How many they did 3 first rounders this year. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Now I don't see this thing winning the division, but I am very, very excited to see excuse me, what this team is going to do. It's a youth group right now. Hugh Jackson's he's got some talented players around him this time, man. I definitely can see them winning more than 2 games this year. Oh, maybe not more, but at least maybe win 2 games. Now, let's look at the schedule. Maybe they might win 1 game. I don't know. Let's look at the schedule. So they start the season off home against the Steelers. Then they have a 2-game. Then they go away at the Ravens and the Colts. Host the Bengals. They could really lose all those games. Maybe they can beat the Colts. It depends on if Andrew Luck is going to be playing or not. The Jets, they can possibly win that game, or the Jets might beat them. They got to face the Texans, the Titans. Yeah, I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. The Bears, the 1 game before their last game, that can be an interesting game right there. So they can probably go maybe 1 to 3 wins between in that region. But in the draft, they got Myles Garrett, the top pick in the draft. Now, people don't think that Myles Garrett was the best defensive end, but, He's definitely a good defensive end. So, and you got Jabril Peppers, who's a safety, but he's a very good athlete. Now, he hasn't really got a whole lot of interceptions, and he played linebacker, but he doesn't have the size for a linebacker. He calls himself a safety. But to be a safety, you got to have good coverage to get some interceptions. So I really like Jabril Peppers. He's a great, great athlete. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. And then, I can't say this guy's last name, but tight end David Njoku. I can't pronounce his last name. I apologize for not pronouncing his last name right, but you have a tight end in there. So, and they drafted a couple of wide receivers last year too. And then you have your quarterback in the second round from Deshaun Kaiser, and he beat Brock for the job, and and Brock was announced that he got cut from the Browns. So he's got to be a backup now at this point. Like, someone gets him, he's probably gonna be a backup at this point. He's not. His starting days are over. He can probably get a job, but just not as a starter though. His starting days are over. But I'm really liking what the Browns did. It's definitely, going to be a year of growing and growing and growing. So you got 4 rookies. You still have, guys that have been here in the NFL for 1 year. So Ben Roethlisberger, he's like getting into his retirement. Andy Dalton, he's actually, I gotta see how old is Andy Dalton, because I don't think he's that old. Joe Flacco, let me see. Andy Dalton. And look, I don't think he's that old. Yeah, he's only 29, so he's got years left. Joe Flacco, I know he's up there. Yeah, Joe Flacco is 30. No, he's still got some time, man. So I think Ben Roethlisberger is the one guy that said, kind of retire soon. Like, I guess it depends on how their success is this year. And then if their success is good, then maybe Ben will play for another year. But, all the players around Ben, they all have to, play their butts off. But, it's going to be tough for the Browns. Like I said, you still have, Ben Roethlisberger might be close to retirement. Joe Flacco, he's not even close to 40 yet, so he's still got some time. Andy Dalton's only 29, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Browns. Now, people were saying Kaiser, him starting this year. I don't know, but like I said, if the competition is close between him and a quarterback, him and a veteran player, you gotta start him, man. He's gonna be the starter. Like, he's starting to go through some ups and downs, but this is for him to get his experience faster. So, like I said, I'm excited to see what the Browns are going to do. Now, despite all of that, my winner for this division has to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they literally have the best offense in the league. Now, the best defense, that's debatable. I think the Baltimore Ravens have the best defense in the league, but their offense is just really, really, really good. Now, I will say, I think out of that division, they have the toughest schedule, because now they start the game off in Cleveland. That's a winnable game, and I feel as though Joe Hayden's going to be far to play that game. They play the Vikings home. Now, that's going to be a huge test for the Vikings, because I feel as though they're definitely harder to play home. Now, outside of home, not so much. And they do have a double-headed running back in Murray and in Cook, so it's going to be an interesting game for them. Then they go to Chicago, which is an easy win. Then they have to go to the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be a tough game. Then you host the Jaguars. And then you go to the Chiefs, who, they want revenge. Then you got to host the Bengals. Then you got to go to Detroit, which I don't know what Detroit we're going to see from that game. Then you got to go to the Colts. We'll see if Luck is playing that game or not. Then you got to host the Titans, which, they're up in the coming. Then you got to host the Packers. Then you got to go to the Cincinnati, host the Ravens, host the Patriots. You're pretty much your biggest rival. I would say nemesis because you're outside the division. Then you travel to Houston. They end the game, end the season hosting the Browns. So it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting in the division to see what's gonna happen with the Steelers and everybody else. But like I said, I think the Steelers are gonna win this. They do have the hardest schedule. They always have a first place schedule. First place schedules always tend to be hard, but like I said, they do have the hardest out of everybody in that division. So I'm excited to see what happens. Now, let me know who you guys think are going to win this division. Like I said, my pick is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see any. I see possibly the Ravens and the Bengals, being competitive. The Browns are just, are a young team on the rise. So it's still going to be a fun division to watch. I'll post my link to the article about this. Now, granted, I made this article sometime in the beginning of the summer, like towards the end of the spring, beginning of the summer. So things have changed since then. I understand with the Joe Hayden trade and stuff like, and the Jeremy Maclin. No, I think they put Jeremy Maclin in that. So it's gonna be, excuse me, it's gonna be interesting division. But let me know. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. Who do you think is gonna win this division? If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll do my next prediction video as soon as possible. Take care, guys.